Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Plaxidis. I work on PQ at Ledwell. I'm going to present to you a short video on breaking bad news. I'll start by explaining events which would lead to bad news. Give an example of death. Losing a loved one can be very distressing, and a sudden accident or announcement of a long-term illness or untreated disease, or any accidents or loss of property in a fire or through natural disasters. So I'm going to take you through the steps of how we can break bad news. But at this moment, I'm going to look at in a hospital setting. So what happens if to prepare the room? It's important to prepare the room, which is quiet, and there's a phone in the room which you can offer to the relatives, so that this place is quiet, comfortable, warm, so that maybe when the relatives come in they'll be comfortable. So it is also important to prepare the nurse who is going to break the bad news. There should be a patient designated when the relatives come in. So when the relatives come in, important to take them into a room. Should have also provided jug of water, maybe tissues for them, maybe a second person that could be your colleague if they are available. So when relatives come in, you welcome them, make them comfortable, explain to them what's going to happen, or if you need doctor to be present, maybe you'd have discussed that already. So when you break the bad news, it's important to tell the family exactly what transpired. It could be someone who was already in hospital. It's also important to have the nurse who knew the patient very well, so you can explain that maybe around 10 the condition deteriorated, so this is what we do. We called the doctor, the patient was given another drip, more medication, but the condition just got worse during that time, so they ended up passing away at such a time. You allow the visitors some time maybe to take in the message, to cry, or if they need to, some may respond differently, some may be quite aggressive or upset. So it's important to have another colleague. So after all that time, that's when you go through they might want to say anything, they might want to ask questions, just offer them. Is there anything you want to ask? They want to check, did he say anything? Maybe the last, or go ask about his mom or say anything. You can always explain that maybe they're calling you mom, or they didn't say anything. Then after all that has been done, you can also check if someone is accompanied, find out if they've got another family member. They could be waiting, let's say, in the car park, or they might have gone through the shops. If they are able to give them a call to come and support them at the hospital, and also offer them, if they want to speak to the doctor, they might have to ask more questions to know like exactly what transpired. So ask the doctor to see them where possible. After all that is done, it's also important to talk about the patient's property. Let's explain where did this for you. Or maybe the parents may say, our relative had clothes, valuables, this and that. Go through everything with them and make sure it's all accounted for. And they can sign. If they are accompanied by someone, we can talk more to the accompanying relative to give maybe the mom some support. And also explain that, offer them other bereavement services should they wish to proceed. Make sure they sign for everything. And if they are on their own, you might want to know if there is anyone at home with them. Maybe they're on their own, you can offer them like bereavement numbers to call for support where possible. Just give them, again, remind them that if they need anything, they can call you as the nurse who broke the news, should they need to ask any question. During grieving period, usually patients, people have got lots of questions. or they might have missed something because they're upset at the time. Just for them, I'm available on this number. You can call me, or if I'm not available, the manager will be around to speak to you. If you can, just take them halfway up to the door. If your colleague is there, they can take them as far as the car. This is most of the hospital. Most of hospital have got car parks on site. Hope you find that helpful. There's lots of information you can find. I've attended some training with like Thrive London. They've got lots of information on bereavement. There's lots of literature which you can find. Thank you for listening.